What is up, guys? This is Quarter Recall, a live show where we take a look back at what was going on in pop culture this week, 25 years ago. Movies, music, video games, nothing is off limits. I say music, but honestly, there's like 3 songs that were top songs in 1997.
Yeah, that's sort of the problem.
They all sucked.
Yeah. It's not like we're looking at the releases of that week music wise, because it's just not our passion, you know.
And it's not that interesting. There's just not that much. There's not that much that's like, I guess we would speak on that. Like, I guess maybe if you were a real 90s music buff, you would see value in it. But I also don't think that was like the golden era of music or anything, right? I think it was.
When was the golden era
of music?
Tony. Yeah.
I might say a little earlier in the 90s for like modern music, right? I think you had some good acts like with like, the Bends coming out and like Tupac and Biggie and like I really liked like the Cranberries and like
all the grunge stuff was cool.
And even just like wild, like Sinead O'Connor was like doing wild shit. Like like I think for modern music you really saw a lot of like weird changes in times where I feel like as you got late into the 90s, at least for me, everything started to really transition into really poppy things, right?
Yeah.
With like Total Request Live and Blink-182 and Metallica cut their hair, like
Dark times.
But like everything just like really had to take a mainstream turn, and I think that was like hard for music. Like
the party was over.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, right? And it's Red Hot Chili Peppers got sober, like everything sort of took a turn that it wasn't my favorite thing, right? It's so weird to me hearing people. I'm here with my co-host Leo, the great Leo. I was gonna say late and great, but you're not the queen. You're not the queen, okay?
Not yet.
The queen died this week. If you're I don't know, from somewhere else or you don't know, but that was always a real bummer to me when I hear people say like Californication was like the best Chili Peppers album, or I just think like those, like when those Heroin Rock was great. Alice in Chains, Chili Peppers,
Pearl Jam,
and as those bands like cleaned up, like I feel like we all were like worse off for it. Like we all lost something. They were better for it, obviously. It probably saved their lives, right?
Yeah,
and for some it didn't.
Probably disagree.
Yeah, for some it didn't, right? But it was definitely better music, right? And so that's why I kind of have an affinity for the early 90s more so than the music I had when I was a teenager. Right? I graduated in 2000, so like late 90s would be kind of like my wheelhouse for music, and I thought most music was pretty weak by then. Even what we considered like metal at that point, like Slipknot and stuff, were still these very like mainstream metal acts that or like Papa Roach, like
and this was like the birth of new metal, which was a rough time, I think, for me at least. Just real not good music.
When I was young, and even as I was a teenager, like I loved early Deftones, but had no affinity for like the Deftones music at the time, right? Like there was just something that I think all those groups really lost as they kind of had to participate in the mainstream. Everyone had to get on Total Request Live. Like that was the only way you were going to make it, And I think that was it's just the MTV culture at that time was damning for music.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree.
Yeah. But that's why we don't talk about a lot of music.
Yeah, we don't talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, every top song we've mentioned is like Notorious. It's Puff Daddy talking about Notorious B.I.G. dying, right? It's like every fucking song.
That's super emblematic of, exactly the issues, right?
Yeah. It's like, take this pop culture event, make some sappy song, like just some dumb shit song about it, and then they'll play it because it's like newsworthy, right? It's like social media culture. Like before social media, it's what you would do on Twitter. Like it's like Puff Daddy changed his Twitter picture to fucking R.I.P. Notorious B.I.G. and got a lot of fucking likes for it.
Got a lot of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Hey, are you seeing the pixel count on the stream? Like me?
It's not on the stream.
I kind of like it.
It's not on the stream. It's just on your screen. Okay, they're gonna learn. They're gonna see how the sausage is made if you tell them that. It's because you're seeing the OBS preview, not the output. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Just checking. I kind of like it. It's very digital, technical.
Yeah, let me see
very 90s.
if I can put any other elements up here for you to look at.
You know me, I love red lines.
Yeah, you do love red lines. I mean, you're a writer, so redlining really is.
Oh, yeah, I see a lot of them.
Yeah. I think I should become a writer. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, give it a shot. Why not?
Yeah, I was watching this thing and they're talking about, like, you know, everything on TikTok is, like, top hustles, right? And like, all of them are like, just be a freelance writer. Like, people are so thirsty for writing. And it's true, because we pay a lot of money to freelance writers. And it's like...
Hey, you know, I'm right here, man. You don't got to go far for a freelance writer.
Yeah, I'm just... might not be a good fit, you know?
I'm just kidding.
No, honestly, if you were interested in digging into printing stuff, you know, like, we could probably hire you for some writing stuff. I could...
Nice.
I can pitch him, but it'll be some weird-ass research, I gotta tell you that. Leo, it's been 2 weeks. You've been out and about partying in the metro of Oregon that you live in. I don't even know what fucking city it is.
Yeah, nobody does. It has a very non-memorable name.
Yeah. But how have your 2 weeks, or what have you been getting up to?
It was fun. It was really nice. I didn't play a huge amount of stuff or anything. I did read a book. I don't remember if I mentioned this last time. I started reading The Haunting of Hill House, the book from the 50s. And that was very interesting because I haven't really read a lot of fiction from that era. And I enjoyed it. It's kind of a quick read. It's very beautifully written, very confusing because it's essentially a story of the protagonist kind of slowly losing her mind. So it's very difficult to follow. And yeah, I don't know. It was cool, though. I really enjoyed the writing style. I was sort of struck by how profoundly different it was than any of the movies or show that recently came out, which makes sense because this would be a very hard movie to watch if you made it really closely hew to the book. But yeah, it's interesting how these things spawn like decades and decades of adaptations, none of which are really, as far as I can tell, kind of get to the point of the book. And you still see that, you know, all the time.
Yeah, books are incredible. Like, something about, like, when you find a book that really just has a cadence that is, like, attractive, you know? Like, it really shows. Like, you immediately recognize there's some intangible here that makes this book, like, infinitely enjoyable to read, right?
Yep.
And it's pretty magical, and that is definitely not something that you could recreate in film. And yeah, I do you read a lot of horror books like that or suspense books? I don't know what you would categorize that as.
Yeah, I think that it's like a sort of classic gothic horror story. Yeah, I'd like to read more. Well, part of the reason I read it is because it was written by a woman, which is nice. I haven't read a lot of horror written by women. I'm sure there's a lot of really good stuff out there.
Yeah, and a lot of easy words too.
Yeah. So that was part of why I read it. And also, you know, it's just a famous book that I'd always been kind of interested in. But yeah, you know, I've read a lot of Stephen King, I've read a lot of Clive Barker, who I really like. But it was also interesting. That's all like 80s and 90s. It was pretty cool reading something from a few decades before that.
Yeah, that's cool. And I feel like, let me clarify, that was a joke, actually, before we move on.
Yeah.
I feel like someone's going to hear that and be like, this fucking guy. I am dumber than most women. But, you know, I think that there's a thing now. I think modern writing has been, I think in general, I don't think it's just writing. I think this is, and this goes back to our conversation about music, I think a lot of things feel solved to the people that publish them, right?
Yeah.
And I think writing is one of those things where there's a definite formula in contemporary writing that kind of has taken over all writing. I feel like music's in a similar way. I think we're getting back into having more indie music and more different things, but there's definitely like a pop culture formula for music, and movies the same way, like as the Marvel movies and stuff kind of just took over the world.
And games.
And games for sure, 100% games.
Very much so. Where you have to really actively seek out stuff that's different. And, you know, of course, like we always say, it's out there. You just have to find it. Might not be front and center, but
and I think that's what makes older games or older books and older media so interesting, right? Is that you know, it's funny. I mean, like older books definitely have this, but like even like Guardians of the Galaxy came out, right? And a bunch of young people had never heard like ELO or like
Yeah.
classic rock, and
Yep.
I think it really immediately spoke to them because it was absent a lot of these formulas that they're so used to, right? And they're like, oh, this is fucking awesome. Every kid I know loves Mr. Blue Sky. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that song is fucking weird. I think if you weren't fed it in such a culturally accepted way, people would think that song was weird and not very good, right?
Yeah, like if you heard it at the grocery store, you wouldn't be like, "Oh my god, this is fucking awesome! I gotta find this."
If your dad was listening to it in the car, you wouldn't think it was amazing, right? But if Chris Pratt's like dancing to it, and every person in the world has agreed that this is good, it's like it really transcends. But yeah,
I think speaks to the power of using music and anything like wisely, that speaks to James Gunn's sort of ability to recontextualize a song and make it really put it in an environment that's really likable.
Yeah, for sure. And but I do enjoy that. I do enjoy going back to things that aren't of this specific era, right? Because I do think that there's a lot more just figuring it out, a lot more tinkering to it that I think is fun to watch,
I totally agree. That's why I'm so fond, like I've said many times, like early 3D games, is because there were just no rules. So they're all over the place and bizarre. And like you said, they're just trying to there's so much experimentation because no one's locked down what you're quote unquote, supposed to do yet. So it's just really fun. The other thing I got really into over the last 2 weeks is Warhammer 40K.
Sick, like miniatures or just like
no,
media?
Not the miniatures. I have no interest in playing the actual game. I mean, the miniatures are cool or whatever, but I just have no interest in that at all. But just the lore is really fun. So I watched a bunch of videos just explaining timelines, and I started listening to a bunch of audiobooks, like just while I'm going to sleep or whatever. Have it on in the background, and I'm having a blast with it. It is so fun. It is such a crazy universe, and I really like it a lot. There's so much wild shit in there. And it's just so eccentric, and just everything being turned up to 11 the way it is I really like it.
Well, hopefully when this Darktide game comes out, we can play it together, because
I'm looking forward to it. And in fact, the only other game I really did get into was a 40K game called Necromunda Hired Gun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a first-person shooter that came out, I think, a year or two ago. And Warhammer games are notorious for being like they just license it to anyone. So there's a wide variety, and a lot of it really bad. But this game I really like. It's pretty janky, but it kind of reminds me of like a fusion between Doom Eternal and Borderlands.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, something else where it has this like really simple gameplay loop where it's just levels that you do over and over. And there is a campaign and stuff, but it's it's really just about perfecting your movement, and then there's loot and stuff that you can sell. There's all kinds of upgrades, there's powers and stuff, and looks great. The story sucks and the writing's terrible, but this isn't really the kind of game you'd play for that reason. But it moves really, really quickly, kind of like Doom. It's way less polished than Doom, which is polished to like an insane degree. But even that I kind of like about it, It's a little bit janky. It doesn't like crash or anything. But even just running around in this insane universe, just blasting people with crazy ass weapons is enormously fun. It has a great loop. It's like a very simple but very engaging loop that I've been really enjoying.
Yeah, Warhammer in general speaks to like a power fantasy and a like an enjoyability that I think is like universal. You know what I mean? I think everyone can see the joy in something like, well, if you're into fantasy at all, can see the joy in something like Warhammer, where it's it's kind of like the Avengers of fantasy,
Yeah.
Where like there's something for everybody, but I love Vermintide and Vermintide 2. Like, I think those games are amazing, and that's why I'm so interested in Darktide. But same thing, first person melee combat, so satisfying. Like, Warhammer's cool. Like, it's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And I'm not as familiar with like actual Warhammer as much as 40K at this point, but I totally agree. I mean, it's a similar concept. Just take these traditional fantasy things and just dial all of the insane darkness and violence up to an extremely high degree. And it provides some very interesting opportunities to tell stories. Yeah, so I've been really having a lot of fun just exploring that universe and learning all about it. And yeah, this game's really cool. I think it's on sale right now for $20. It was interesting reading reviews because a lot of people really don't like it. But for whatever reason, I'm really very much enjoying it. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's just because I know what it is and my expectations were very much in line with what I was getting.
You like bad games too. Like, I'm not saying this is a bad game, but you definitely have a fondness for bad games. Like,
yeah, I don't know if I'd say bad, but definitely like there's a certain type of like jank that really does appeal to me, and not only can I forgive it, but I find it sort of charming.
I mean, you like Fallout 4.
Well, I stopped playing Fallout 4, so I guess I don't like it that much. But this is very different than that. It's much smaller and very contained. But you know what it is? It's another example of like a game that's pretty ambitious. Like, there's so many systems in there. Like, for example, there's a grappling hook, which, you know, when you put a grappling hook in a game, you can break that game very easily, you know? Mm-hmm. It's not the kind of thing you just throw in, but they kind of just threw it in. And they throw in a lot of systems that there's just an awful lot of systems. So it's much more ambitious than maybe it should have been. But again, I find that sort of charming too. Where they're like, fuck it, we'll just do it. We're not going to do a great job, but it's going to be in there. And I could totally understand why someone would be like, what the hell is this? But I've really enjoyed it. So yeah, it's kind of what I've been up to the last 2 weeks. What about you? What did you get up to while I was out and about?
Nah, not a lot. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
No, I said not a lot, but I have played. What have I been playing? Like, I'm trying to think. Honestly, I've been playing a lot of Valorant, which is lame, like super lame. And also, I've been playing a game that is even more lame, which is Fortnite.
Oh, nice.
I don't know.
Playing Valorant and Fortnite.
I know how that's like a child. Fortnite's fun. Like, no build mode Fortnite really has been hit, and I hate the Epic launcher. Like, it pains me to play it. And you know what's weird is it's the only game that makes my computer run like shit. You know, like, I play other games and it's fine. I load up Fortnite and try and play YouTube video on the side, and like everything starts going to, like, the YouTube video starts freezing. You know, like, I don't know why. Like, no other game does that, but
that's funny. I wonder if it's just the fucking Epic launcher.
I mean, that's what is it? You know, I don't know. It definitely could be, but it's no build mode's fun. It's a good. Yeah. It's funny because I say that it makes YouTube run like shit, but it is like the best game I have to just like watch YouTube videos and just jump in and do these stupid missions and stuff in Fortnite and not really give a shit if I live or die and grappling hook around, and you know what I mean, like
it's background game.
Yeah, and it's a good mid-level of like background game, but I'll hear somebody come in and I'll kind of get intense for a minute, and then I'll go look for 3 treasure chests in the loot lake, and then I'll, you know, like, there's so many like tasks you can do that aren't combat related that it's like, yeah, you know, I'll try, and if I die, I'll just start another one and land there again. You know, like, it's really good for that. But yeah, it's pretty good, man. I get to be Naruto and throw Kamehamehas. That's pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think.
I know they got Resident Evil characters in there, so it can't be all bad.
No, they got all kinds of characters. They got everybody, man. You could be The Rock, you know?
Yeah. Can you beat Queen Elizabeth yet?
Oh, I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
They'll probably wait like a year for that, and then they'll be like, it's the Fortnite Jubilee.
I want to be Princess Di, and then getting like high-speed chases, you know?
Yeah, that'd be cool. If you got like a bonus, if you get in a high-speed chase.
If someone else kills you while you're in a high-speed chase, you get a bonus.
that could be one of the challenges.
Yeah. So sad. It plays Candle in the Wind once you die.
Oh, it's funny.
That's where we're going, though. That's the metaverse, you know?
It is. It really is so embarrassing.
Yeah, it is embarrassing. Like, you know,
the whole thing's fucking embarrassing, especially as someone who likes computers and games and technology. It's just like the worst combination of all of those things is happening right now. It's pretty funny.
It's funny because I think back on like how we view history, and we view history like it's so serious, you know?
Yeah.
But like, what if the stuff we found are just their memes, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what if it is just memes? Like, what if all the hieroglyphics are fucking pyramids and shit?
I'm sure a lot of it is. Like,
Right.
why wouldn't it be?
You know, we found a few pyramids. Like, what if it was just a big joke? You know, and like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, but it's just all this stuff. Of course, a lot of it would just be memes. Like, think of the stuff we leave behind. Like, it's just trash. You know.
Yeah. No, like 99.99% of everything we have and create is just total trash. There's no reason to think that other people wouldn't have done the same thing in the past. It's not like people who lived long ago were all, you know, amazing, remarkable people.
Yeah, if
Of course not.
my apartment was frozen in space and someone
Yeah.
found it in 200 years and walked through, they would be like this culture was fascinated with like the dumbest things, right? With Funko Pops. They would think Funko Pops were, you know, like the most
Some sort of religious iconography.
I mean, regardless, there's so many fucking Funko Pops in the world. In 1,000 years, someone will find 9 million fucking Funko Pops and think that they were so important to us as a culture, you know? And it's like, no, man, we just like plastic goofy shit, you know?
It's like plastic shit that we can throw away in 10 years.
Yeah, I don't know how I got on this tangent, but yeah. It's
History, man.
History.
Crazy. And that's
fucking-
kind of why we do the show, you know?
fucking wild.
Recontextualize history.
fucking wild. Everything is fake, bro. It's a simulation.
Yeah.
All right, so but yeah, it's kind of like Fortnite. Okay. We got a lot of games.
Ooh.
Not a lot of
Nice.
movies. I don't know if we're gonna know a lot of the games. There's a couple here that we will be. I think there's 3 we will be familiar with.
Sweet.
But
I
you
love
might be
that.
you might be familiar with more because you're a fucking gamer.
Not like you.
No.
With your fucking Fortnite and your Valorant.
Well, I'm like, you know, I feel like there's always been a difference. Like when I was a kid, I liked like games, whole stop, right? But as I became a teenager and later, like I played Tribes and Counter-Strike, I really got into multiplayer games.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I casually interact with like mainstream games, right? Where multiplayer games are mainstream, but they're a different thing. And so, you know, I'm not as like privy to all the single player stuff I feel anymore. But let's start. You want to start with movies or games?
Let's start with movies.
Okay.
And we were talking. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I can pause it for a sec.
I was just saying how before we started, we were talking about how it's the early in the month, so you know the trailers are not going to be movies we've ever heard of, or I'd argue anyone has ever heard of, most likely.
I think there's one or 2 maybe that people have heard of, and the trailers are really bad. Like
Yeah.
end of the month, yeah. So like, I think I've said this before, but end of the month movies are good. Beginning of the month movies are terrible. Like they just release the worst shit. And you can tell because all of these trailers, like you can see the screenshots or the beginning of this one on screen, have such heavy vignetting that they're almost impossible to see. You know? And I think that's indicative of what this movie is.
Yeah, they're masking something.
Yeah, it's just like we'll just make it impossible to see. All right, let's go.
Ooh.
My name is Ricardo Fernandez. And
This-
since we arrived in Puerto Rico
I think this was sped up or something. The voice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is not. That'd be wild, though.
why we left Spain,
Well, the movie. This is a Spanish movie, and so
I met Lorca once.
every other trailer I found was in Spanish,
He was my
Yeah.
and I found one in English and just added it, but I never listened to it.
And it's sped up. I
Yeah.
love that.
Or maybe it's some kind of like
It's the time when both fights begin.
automatic translation,
Started in my home.
right? Like they use like
Oh yeah,
AI
like the
translation.
TikTok, like the TikTok voice.
Yeah.
I think about Lorca. There I was with my best friend Jorge, my parents.
This is a joke.
This is really
This
not,
might be a
probably
joke.
not. It's probably not fair to the movie, but I love it.
Wait, this is like the whole movie. This is an hour and 20 minutes. But the file
Really?
is tiny.
But what you want is no trouble.
Okay, this movie's called The Disappearance of Garcia Lorca.
Active violence
It's a Spanish-American drama biographical film
changed my life forever.
based on a book. Even the Wikipedia article's tiny. That's this movie. Next movie.
I love that. That was awesome.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch it now. I'm
But
very
only if the
intrigued.
VO's like that.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued.
Filmed entertainment.
This movie you might know.
What do you get for the man who has everything?
You can tell by the quality of the trailer that
Yeah,
this is a
I
movie
know.
that
It
you
is.
may.
Oh, wow. Is this the game?
Yeah, this is a game.
I like her.
This is a cool movie.
This
As I
is a-
recall, I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember really liking it.
All right.
Yeah, it's a cool movie. It's just interesting. It's fun, right? Like,
This is for you. Consumer
it's
recreation
fun in a dark way.
services.
Yeah.
Keeps you interested.
They make your life fun.
It's like Squid Game, man.
What are you selling?
It's a game,
Game.
Like the name of the movie.
specifically tailored for each participant.
John, chapter 9, verse 25. Whereas once I was blind, now I can see. Now I can see.
One
Whoa.
day your game begins. You either love it or hate it.
Are you going to spend the rest of the evening prying at that clown's mouth?
Mr. Van Orton, is everything all right?
Ah, Mr. Van Orton.
Have we met?
I believe so.
Why are you following me? Find out about a company called Consumer Recreation Services. They won't stop.
Yeah, this looks great.
He's in on it.
Yeah, for sure.
You can tell if we like something because we don't talk.
Yeah, we don't talk. We're just like, shut
Like,
up.
this was fucking cool.
Shut up. I'm watching the trailer.
Yeah.
Avoid it, and a bunch of depraved children. They're trying to kill me. Who's behind this? Who did this to me? Why?
A lot of machine guns in the 90s.
Yeah.
Right now, I am extremely dangerous.
I mean, they're like provocative, right? But
Yeah.
but they're not
Oh, I
really.
didn't realize it was David Fincher.
Yeah, but they're not really great weapons, machine guns.
Yeah. They're not very efficient.
The
cool.
game. Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah, I would definitely watch that. That looks awesome.
Yeah. Let's see.
Thegame.com. Ooh, I had a
Ooh.
website.
I mean, this might be a new website.
The gently rolling hills of Appalachia.
That'd be weird.
It wasn't geocities.thegame.com, so I don't think it's from the 90s.
I got 50,000 barrels of cyanide rolling down there right now.
Protected by the
Oh.
silence of a town living in fear.
Young'uns are dying. People down here don't take to strangers. They do a hard day's work, go to church on Sunday, that's it. We have
That's all you gotta do.
our community.
Now, an outsider has come into their world.
You really are new here.
Gotta stand out a little bit, do I?
That's what's up.
Reveal the
Oh my god.
Just smoke over here in the mountains.
Oh, they've been burning that mountain for 12 and a half years.
Protect the innocent
That's weird.
Prettier than a speckled pup. That's just what I was gonna say.
and expose the conspiracy.
I made 16 million on this deal. You think I'm giving it back?
One of these days you'll say the money ain't worth what's gonna do to my people.
You need to be careful of slinking around here. Somebody gonna get hurt.
What a fucking dork Steven Seagal was. Is.
Is, yeah.
Who are you?
I'm a federal agent.
He's a great example of someone who's like, he should never have been famous. How did that happen?
How did that happen? I mean, that's a good question. But the 90s were crazy, right?
They were
Like,
crazy.
even people like Chuck Norris, who I like, you know, you look at him and you're just like,
Do you have any help? Because without it,
how's
you
he
could
just like
be
a
searching for years.
movie
Yeah,
star,
this guy?
right? Like,
Yeah, because like, I mean, Arnold is has so much charm.
yeah. And he's
Sylvester
so,
Stallone, same deal. They're very charming people, just in general. But Steven Seagal is like whatever the opposite of charm is.
yeah, there's people where you're in a room with them or you see them and you're like, wow, like that person has a presence that is
Yeah.
impressive, you know? And like, I bet if you were at the mall and Jay-Z was in a store and you walked into the store, you'd be like, wow, that guy's like special.
Yeah.
You know, like something about him just is like intriguing, right? And Arnold, the same thing.
Yep.
Sly Stallone, the same thing. But like Steven Seagal, you'd see him in a store and just be like,
I'd be like, I need to leave this store immediately.
or just like, I wish that guy would get out of my way, you know? Or like,
Yeah.
or you like one of those things, you know, like you're in a store and you want to go down an aisle, but someone's like standing in
Yeah.
the aisle looking, and you'd be like,
And he
this-
probably has like a weird cologne that's like
Yeah.
way too strong. So you're just like,
like,
this guy's it's standing in front of the ice cream, and I want some fucking Ben and Jerry's, but I guess I'll come back later.
Yeah.
I'll take another trip around the store.
Yeah. I feel like that's the thing me
Till
and
this
my
fucking
wife
weird, creepy guy gets out of the way.
Me and my wife fight about the most is she'll be doing that, like standing in front of something just thinking, and I'm like, you gotta move to someone else and get it. And she's like, why? I'm here, you know? And I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, two kinds of people. I'm definitely in the former camp where I'm like, I try and be extremely conscious of everyone around me.
I just don't think it's like, I think it's a cultural thing too. Like, she's from Japan, and I don't think they think about it that way, because they don't, like, I think part of collectivism isn't like, you would think that it means like I get out of the way for the next person, but really what it means is the next person doesn't need me to get out of the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that person also waits, and when it's their turn, they will do the same thing I just did, and then the next person will do the same thing right? Like, it's wild. It's so different. All right, let's go. Next trip.
I would definitely not watch that movie. Unless it was like on TV, then I'd definitely
watch it on TV for sure.
Yeah. While you played Fortnite.
Yeah.
With no future.
No future.
With a past.
Who is he?
He walked into town.
Leon thinks he's a drug dealer.
Oh my god.
My name is Julian Po. I'm pretty used to being anonymous.
Oh, wow. I was like, guy sounds like Christian Slater.
But when curiosity.
Guy sounds like a shitty Jack Nicholson.
Obsession.
I say he's planning something right now.
Why don't you people just leave me alone?
And he falls for one of their own.
Who are you?
I know why you came here. You came here for me.
He will fall under suspicion.
You keep an eye on him, Leon. Let me know if he does anything funny.
And on a journey for what he has lost.
He's standing in a graveyard. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. It's crazy. He's a wild man.
He never expected.
My whole life I've dreamt of someone like you.
And the only thing.
That's creepy.
Yeah. Kind of hot, though, too.
I think if someone told me that, I'd be like, what?
It depends. Like, if it was on a date, I would say what, but if it was like this, you know, wild sexual encounter that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's a fair point, I suppose.
Like, I would like getting caught up in the passion, I think is pretty good stuff, right? But yeah, if it was in a moment of realistic thought, you know, I might be like, that's not.
Yeah, that's inappropriate.
That's not going to get me for like date number 2. Like, I don't even know who you are. Like,
that is the wrong thing to say.
Yeah. All right, let's keep rolling.
Ooh.
Official entry. It didn't win. Yeah. But it was there.
We got there. Which is more than any movie I've ever made.
It'll be an awesome tool in the war against crime. Cut down on the response time by 200%. But is it the end of violence? A system like this, there's a chance for...
You know he's serious because he's got an ergonomic keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
If you see anything,
and a HOTAS.
let me know, right?
Hollywood. What's not strange?
Did we get the shot?
Yeah, it looks great. You'll see.
Great.
One more thing. Someone dumped a 400-page FBI file into your email.
That's it? Nothing from the Pope? Yeah.
I'm leaving.
This is... I'm interested in this in a not good way.
Yeah.
The enemy could come from anywhere.
You just kill him. You just kill him. Roll, kill him now.
Oh my god.
I like how the guy that monitors everything that happens in LA is like, there was a murder, and he's like clutching his pearls. Like,
I can't believe this. Someone was killed in Hollywood.
Yeah. Violence in Los Angeles in the 90s? Impossible.
I feel like Bill Pullman's always like staring into a camera confused in every movie he's in.
He really smolders, you know. He's really got that, like, you know, hasn't shaved.
Yeah, he always looks like he's just really kind of hungover and upset and confused.
Yeah,
Poor
he's
guy.
got that.
I like Bill Pullman though.
He's always got a poorly fitting hat. Oh, that's the movies.
I moved to Puerto Rico 18 years ago.
Me llamo. What's the guy's name? I can't remember.
I don't know either.
All right, let's do this.
Really made a big impact.
I was into it. All right, let's do some games.
All right.
I think you know what this one is.
Well, yeah. Now I do. I would have guessed this one. I played this not too long ago.
I never played Hexen II. I played the first one.
It's very strange because it's in third person a lot of times. Or maybe I'm thinking of Heretic 2.
Maybe.
which are very cute. Yeah.
I just remember Hexen being a really clunky first-person shooter.
That's cool. It's just, it's fine. Dynamic role-playing? I don't know if I'd go that far.
It's so dynamic.
The role-playing word, I've realized, is not used in the appropriate way very often.
I think there's a certain, you're playing a role, aren't you?
Yeah, so every video game is a role-playing.
Yeah, every video is a role-playing game. Every video's an action game.
It just became a thing where they're like, if it has magic in it, it's an RPG. It's like, hold on.
Yeah, or if you earn anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
any sort of crafting tree or any kind of upgrade, it's an RPG. That's funny.
Well, you're the one that's into Fallout 4, so you know about RPGs. You know this game?
That's so funny. I just started playing the remake of this not too long ago, but I've never played the original. It seems cool though.
Yeah, it does seem cool. In a dumb, fun sort of way,
Yeah.
Which is my favorite sort of way, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this engine was a lot of fun. A lot of interesting level design in this engine.
Yeah. Well, so fast, Doom so fast.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something really special about the super fast-paced first-person shooter. That's part of why I like Necromunda. Is it just you have to constantly be moving, and there's something very I don't know, just feels like you're playing a cool PC game,
Yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah, I think especially on PC, it just.
Yeah.
I don't feel like these games
looks
translate well to
awesome.
console, but yeah, it does look awesome.
Hell yeah.
It's available now. So.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure you could get it for $1 on Good Old Games right now.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. When the trailer looks good, it's obviously they're selling it again.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And this is
a Mindscape company. Ooh.
Imperialism.
Ooh.
This is so PC game.
I know, it's amazing. It's definitely the kind of game a dad would play.
Yeah, this is a game your dad buys.
Yeah. It's the most dad game ever.
And all you want to do is play Shadow Warrior, and he plays this all night, and you're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
And you have to wake up before school to play, because he was playing this.
And you're like, well, I'll watch it play. It looks, I love video games. And then you watch this, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah. This is when you start to hate your dad. Like, Dad, you're reading the newspaper in a game. It's not even the real newspaper. It's like, well,
Yeah. He's like, I know, but it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is interesting. It looks cool. I just can't get into these kinds of games. I guess I'm too stupid.
I don't know if it looks cool.
I'm sure it looks interesting, When I say interesting, not like I want to play it interesting, but it's not the same old thing.
That's for sure.
Whoa. Oh, this is Breath of Fire 3 or 4.
Wow, you really know your stuff. This is Breath of Fire 3. It's an RPG.
Yeah, it's an RPG. Catch. I was playing this on my phone not too long ago, and it was, very JRPG of the era, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah. Ooh, 3D scroll. Look at that. Look at the motion. Scroll. Look at the motion.
Yeah.
Oh, what? You can tilt?
Yeah.
Tilt and pan?
Welcome to 3 dimensions, motherfucker.
Jesus motherfucking Christ.
Yeah. Ding.
This is a whole nother minute of this. I
mean, my god. looks like a JRPG, all right.
Yeah.
This would be the kind of game you wanted to play while your dad was playing Imperialism or whatever.
Oh, this is the kind of shit you play nonstop
for a whole summer.
A whole summer, yeah. That's a good spell.
Yeah, damn. Oh. Whoa, I like that boss.
Oh, the namesake, the Breath of Fire.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Finally got to see it in action.
Pretty cool.
Good logo too.
Did you play any of the Breath of Fire games?
It's 5,800 yen. It's $60, bro. It's expensive.
Damn, that is expensive.
Yeah. No, I never played the Breath of Fire games. I want to say I tried. I don't know. I feel like I played so many JRPGs when I was younger. But no, I never played through them.
Yeah, me neither. I think I've played all of them, like a little bit, but I've certainly never beaten any of them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, PlayStations were so hackable. I had a burned version of every fucking PlayStation game.
Pirate.
Serious piracy. I mean, I think if anyone should be allowed to pirate, it's like 15-year-olds, right? Because it's like they have no money and so much interest, right?
Yeah, and tell your friends about it.
Yeah, like they're so thirsty for content, and I mean, it's probably different now because so many games are free, but
because you just play Fortnite.
Yeah, you just play Fortnite, and Fortnite is Roblox now. Like, you can play Call of Duty in Fortnite. I played gun game Rust Fortnite today.
Whoa. Can you play Escape from Tarkov or?
Maybe.
Nice.
I don't know. Although I went shooting last weekend and I bought new shooting earphones, and I feel like I'm in Tarkov because it's like the amplified ones, you know?
Oh yeah.
Where like it has a mic so you can hear voices, but the gunshots get muffled and stuff. And it's pretty fun. It feels like I'm in Tarkov. It's basically Escape from Tarkov.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, same thing. All right,
Escape from Hollywood.
Escape from. I mean, and that's the sequel.
Yeah.
The next game didn't have. So it had the opening cinematic, and then I found a gameplay video. So there's no trailer. Yeah, so we'll watch the cinematic, then we can jump into a little bit of gameplay.
Sweet.
Oh, that's the gameplay.
Whoa. Spies. Very 90s logo.
Treasure.
Ah, treasure. ESP.
Dun, dun, dun.
Whoa.
Oh, I will say, you see this shit on your Dreamcast, you're like, this is so good.
Yeah. Whoa. This is very treasure.
Mm-hmm. Like, so much action.
I know. So many colors.
Yeah.
So many seizures.
Oh yeah, there's definitely kids seizing up right now. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
for sure. It's very strange character design. I kind of like it.
Those, like, that nose design I don't like it.
Yeah.
The pointy nose.
Yeah, that's fair. I like the 2-color hat.
I want one of those. It's kind of a helmet hat, you know. It looks like
like a Kaiser hat.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan.
I like how her hair, or I don't know if it's a girl, but the way the hair is like two different kinds of hair. It's cool.
You don't have to gender them. You can just say I like how their hair is.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, we're in a different era now.
Yeah.
So here's some gameplay from that game. This
Sweet.
is called Silhouette Mirage.
Oh, interesting. I've never
PlayStation game. People like this game. When I looked up the trailer, I found a lot of like content around Silhouette Mirage. So
people love treasure, man.
Yeah. There's a big Silhouette Mirage fan base. I'm going to skip because I don't know what the fuck we're looking at. I want to see gameplay. Okay. Looks like it's Strider level's about to start.
Yeah, totally. I was just thinking it's very Strider. Alright, this is just the whole game.
No, it's only 3 minutes. I was just going to skip to an action part, but there's no action. It's just... All right, here we go. We got the health bars. Oh, 6, she changes color when she turns around. Or they.
Well.
Sorry, they.
Yeah, they. Okay.
I'm into it already.
Interesting. Yeah,
I like the little
kinda
dancing thing on the left side. I don't know what that is under the
Yeah, I
health.
don't either.
So there's got to be a mechanic with the switching, because like the health
Yeah,
bar
well,
color
right.
change-
Maybe it's like pre-Ikaruga.
Maybe. Shoot when you
Or-
turn to the right. Shoot when you turn to the right. I don't see
Yeah.
you do-
Maybe you can't shoot when you turn to the right.
Maybe you can. Ooh. Oh yeah, maybe you jump when you're turned right and shoot when you're turned left.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
I like the walking animation. It's very determined.
Yeah.
So far, they've not once shot to the right.
And jump to the left.
I like the
Oh,
music.
it's a puzzle or something. Oh, she defies gravity. Right? She only
Yeah.
jumps right. I mean, she double
Oh, she just jumped left, though.
Oh, she jumped left. She jumped left.
Yeah.
And
But
what's
still only shot left so far.
Yeah, why would you ever look right? Just always go left.
So you can shoot?
Yeah.
I like that.
She only shoots behind. Only the past gets shot. The future is open.
The future's wide open.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
very.
you can level up your little dancing guy.
But what is the dancing guy?
I don't know. If I spoke Japanese, maybe I could tell you.
Oh, what's
Oh my
happening
God.
here? Oh, shit!
Whoa, hell yeah.
I told you, Kamehameha them, bro.
This is... Oh, she's shooting to the left.
Yeah, she always shoots to the left.
Oh, right.
No, left. She always shoots to the left. She never shoots to the right.
Yeah.
I'm really curious about what's happening now.
Yeah, this was a PS1 game, it looks like.
Yeah, we about to get to a boss fight.
Oh, yeah.
Now we'll see the mechanics in action.
Now we'll understand what's happening.
Uh-oh, there's a
Oh.
boss. Now she's gonna shoot left. I can feel it. I can feel it.
I can feel it in my,
Oh, that's
my
the end.
bones.
She's dead.
Oh, man. Well, I'm certainly intrigued.
Rest in peace. Yeah, I'm intrigued as well. Let's
Interesting.
find a good screen. to read that.
Shadow Mirage. Oh, there you go. that's awesome.
Yeah, it's called Silhouette Mirage,
Silhouette Mirage.
by Treasure.
Yeah, there you go.
hold on,
I'm
let me
interested.
Silhouette Mirage action features 7 levels with a 2D view. The game's major mechanic is based on the concept of 2 opposing attributes, Silhouette and Mirage.
Ah.
Enemies are either Silhouette, which can only be destroyed by using Mirage attacks, or Mirage, which can only be destroyed by using Silhouette
So
attacks.
it is like Ikaruga.
Yeah, the protagonist, Shyna, she Shyna,
Sheena, maybe?
I don't know. Yeah, I think it would be more like Sheena, probably, if it's Japanese, right? But it wouldn't be shy, like the Y pronunciation. But when facing right, she turns red and uses Mirage attacks, and left turns blue Silhouette attacks. That's all.
That's cool.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fun.
Seems interesting.
Silhouette Mirage, everybody.
Yeah. My interest is piqued.
My interest is also piqued. That's it. That's all our games. So what?
Those was some good ones.
Those were some good ones. It's fun. A lot of games too. It's always fun. I like talking about games.
Yeah, me too.
So what movie would you want to watch?
The game.
Yeah, the
that
game
one's pretty
so
easy.
good,
That looks
right?
like genuinely really cool and fun, and I like that director a lot.
Yeah, I watched it when I was younger, and now I want to watch it again as an adult because I think I'll understand what's happening. Right?
Yeah, you'd be like, now that I get it.
Now that I'm old enough to like actually watch this thing, it's
Yeah.
all right, which of these games you want to play?
Oh man, that's hard. I mean,
So we
Shadow
got-
Warrior looked like a fun afternoon, you know?
Yeah, we got Shadow Warrior, Hexen 2, Breath of the Wild 3, or Breath of the Wild, Breath of Fire 3.
I definitely want to play that.
Silhouette Mirage, and Imperialism, your dad's favorite game.
I think I would play all of those except Imperialism, not because it looked bad, but just it just doesn't look like something I'd enjoy.
You have to pick one.
I know. I'm trying. I'm just thinking. Probably Shadow Warrior, just because Breath of Fire 3 is too long. And Shadow Warrior seems like super chill and fun. You could just play it for a couple hours and be like, all right, I get it.
Yeah, I think
What
I'd
about
actually
you?
play the Silhouette Mirage game.
Yeah, that just looks really difficult to me.
I just want to see what it is.
Yeah.
All these games I would. So that's the thing with Shadow Warrior and Hexen and stuff. It's like I would rather play a more modern one of those. Like the nostalgia's fine, but I would get over it pretty fast. You know,
that's fair.
Where at least this game, I'm like, oh, how's this mechanic? I would play a few levels and try and kind of get the mechanic and find that pretty neat. You know, and
it's got big emulation vibes. You play it for an hour and you're like, all right, I'm never gonna play this again, but I get it.
Yeah, where I think Shadow Warrior definitely looks more fun than Hexen, right? Like, but with Shadow Warrior, I think you're just like, I know what this is. You know what I mean? Like, there's no surprise. It's fun to watch everything blow up for a minute, but then you're like, okay, I know the arm falls off. It always falls off. I've seen, the head goes up. Like, I get it.
It's like you play long enough for the level design to get too confusing, and then you give up. So it'd be like level 3, and you're like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, and the idea of how puzzles were in those games.
Yeah,
where
just flip a switch and then across the map a random wall moves.
Yeah,
no thanks.
Yeah, no thanks. So bad, but pretty good. Some fun games to look back on. Leah, is there anything else you want to get into before we get out of here today? Before we get on with our weekends?
Before we get on with it, no, I don't think so. I think we covered it all.
I think we covered it all too.
Everything.
We talked about the downfall of music. We talked
about the Queen a little bit.
Yeah, long live. Oh, I can't say that anymore. God save the Queen. No,
the King.
God save the King. Now, yeah.
Yeah. That's what you got to say.
It feels like the monarchy is going away.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
It seems so like
this would be like a good time for that to happen if it does. There's never been a better time.
Never been a better time to end a monarchy. I feel like the Queen dying was such a non-issue in a lot of ways, right? Like, I didn't even really hear about it that much. You know what I mean? It was just sort of like, oh yeah, the Queen died.
Well, it's like everyone already had the articles written like 3 years ago, and then they just did a couple updates, and even the ascendancy of the king, apparently it had all been dialed in for like 10 years now, or maybe even longer. Like, yeah, there's just no surprise.
Yeah, I just feel like I would be more. I feel like if this happened, if she was 90 10 years ago and died, it would be like a thing because we'd all be watching cable television and they'd tell us it's so
there'd be nothing else on.
Like they would tell us this is the biggest thing, and it would cut into the episode of Friends you were watching to tell you about it. And you'd be like, wow, this must be important. But in a world where we actually can kind of look at what we want to, like no one really cares. And I saw a bunch of interviews in England where people were like, I don't really, they didn't look too broken up, I guess, over there.
I work with a lot of people that are English or currently in London. It was sort of fun getting their reactions because they were extremely ambivalent.
And I think that those kinds of institutions lose their power as people just don't really give a shit.
No, for sure.
Someone was saying like someone was talking about the Queen as like, oh, people want to get so negative about it and talk about all the ills of England and stuff. And, the Queen definitely was not in charge of a lot of those things, right? And I'm always just like, she's a mascot. You got to look at her like a mascot.
She seemed like she was extremely good at her job for whatever that's worth.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. And
she seemed like a pretty good queen. She didn't decapitate anyone, as far as I know.
Yeah, she seemed nice to people. She didn't seem wasn't a fucking bigot or anything,
Yeah, exactly. She was good at her job of being the queen.
She was nice English to Snoop mascot. Dogg. They tried to kick Snoop Dogg out of England, and she said no. She's
like, between her and Martha Stewart, he has a way with older white women.
Yeah, this man's done nothing wrong.
This man is a national hero.
Yeah.
I'm not the first person to point this out by any means, but it did make me chuckle to think that the new prime minister just had like 3 days and then the Queen died. So she's probably more impacted than anyone.
I mean, it's on her, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people are saying that. Coincidence? Yes, but still.
It's on her. It's just like Joe Biden has ruined our country. That prime minister has now ruined England.
Yeah. Things were fine when Boris Johnson was in charge.
Things were going great for such a long time.
Everything was going great.
Yeah, and you get in, shit's really gone.
Fucking Queen dies.
Yeah, I mean, this new prime minister causes inflation. Queen dies.
Yeah. She's like, I literally just moved in.
The dollar's stronger than the euro right now, so
embarrassing.
And fucking all of Europe
Get
can't
your
handle
shit-
the
get your
USD.
shit together over there.
Come on, man. Come
There's
on.
incoming price and like energy price increases right around the corner. Whew.
And
it's gonna be rough.
I wonder what does the dollar to the British pound? Dollar to pound. Are we killing the pound too? Oh, shit.
We're back on top, finally.
Yeah, we're fucking in charge of the world once again. But yeah, it's a wild time. All right, anything else? We all missed the Queen. Okay, anything else?
No, I think we covered it all. All the past events, current events. You know, this is the place to get your news.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta see what was the Queen's favorite soup.
Ask her what her favorite video game was.
So
I said ask her.
Mark Flanagan, a chef who's worked in Buckingham Palace, said since 2002 discussed the Queen's favorite dish in a documentary for ITV called Queen of the World. And he reports that the Queen is especially fond of a popular Caribbean dish, callaloo soup. It's known as the pepper pot soup in Jamaica. So for all you soup heads out here, we got the soup facts. The Queen loves callaloo soup.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to send her off. You know, make her favorite soup, enjoy it, see what you think.
Yeah, sure.
I won't be doing that, but.
And callaloo is a traditional Caribbean soup created by. What the fuck? This is the description of callaloo soup.
Sweet.
Callaloo is a traditional Caribbean soup created by enslaved Africans using African heritage, wisdom, and indigenous plants.
Yeah, no wonder it's her favorite.
The main ingredient is the green leafy tops of either the amaranth plant or the taro root. I didn't know amaranth, the stream was named after a plant.
Oh, yeah,
She's the hot
there
tub.
you go.
She's the hot tub girl.
Not anymore.
She loves callaloo soup, I guess. The Queen and amaranth have something in common.
There you go. Maybe she's the Queen reincarnated.
Yeah.
A little prematurely.
That's a little awkward, but sure. Maybe she's Princess Di reincarnated. Let's go.
Yeah, there you go. That makes more sense.
Yeah. All right. That's what we got for you guys this week. We hope that you all enjoy your weekends. We hope you had a good Labor Day, and go to Target. They got all their Halloween stuff out now, and it is very cute. It is very cute. We got a little cat on a pumpkin that lights up.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to do some shopping. Some holiday shopping.
Adorable. I wish we had a yard because they had really great like outdoor lighting things to set up. They had a little Grim Reaper that
I love that.
I want them so bad.
I'm gonna buy a house just so I can put a little Grim Reaper in the yard. Maybe make a little graveyard. That sounds cool.
Yeah, I want them so bad. All right, thank you guys. We love you, and we will talk to you next week.